time ago, I was on the presentation about Silicon Valley, and there was a story about some owner of IT company that went to America on the fair, just like this. He had his small table, and there were a lot of rich people, American businessmen, wandering about. And after a few moments, one guy came to his stand of this owner of the IT company from Gdańsk, and after a little talk, he asked him about 2,000 IT programs. And for this IT owner, company IT company owner, it was pretty confusing because he told, I have no more than 100. But just nearby was a guy from China, and he told, that's no problem for me, I can give you even more. So then I start thinking, wow, if one guy from China can just like that offer 2,000 programmers, specialized people, so maybe there is more of them. Maybe in China there are not only workers, not only some middle-class workers, but many, many specialists, programmers, doctors, and even more. And what's more important, if there is more of them, at which level they are, how good they are. And why I started to think about this all? China is far away. We don't care about some part of Asia, yeah? But just in this story that I told before, we heard that 100 programmers from Gdańsk and potentially 2,000 programmers from Poland didn't get a job because people from China. So they are not far away. They are just nearby, and they are truly our competition, especially for us, young people that are now learning and willing to find a job in this global world. Chinese people from China are our true competition. So I started searching in internet. I asked my teachers, hopefully one of them, the teacher of Chinese language, is a person from China, how education in China looks like. It's, at the first look, it's pretty the same. They have primary, secondary, high school, and then they can go to university. And I divided this to these two parts because there's a pretty big line between. So the first part, primary, secondary, and high school, can be, on the first look, pretty the same. They have bigger class, but just like we. When I dipped more, when I started looking for more information, I found many differences. First of them is that how many time do they spend in school? They spend at least 8 hours in their school every day from Monday to Friday. And this is from the very low level, because if they are willing to be more successful, they need to stay longer in their schools. They will take many extra lessons, and later on, especially in high schools, it's typical that they learn from 6 a.m. to 1 a.m. And what's more, they have more things to do at school, because they do not have these young, older ladies that clean their school. They need to do it by themselves. Every class is responsible for cleaning their own class, and once or twice per week they gather to clean whole school. This is just additional thing they need to do. And another big example is that, they're sitting quietly on their lesson, writing, doing exercises for the whole time. For the many, many hours, they're just really sitting there and learning. And we could ask why. Why are they willing to learn so hard and for so long time? To answer this, we need to compare our education, our universities, and theirs. Our universities looks like this bridge. This bridge that leads to better life, to better job, and it's pretty big for us. We can get on it pretty easily, and even if we will fall from him, we can get on him again, start from over. It's not a big deal for us. But Chinese bridge looks different. It's even though they are building more and more universities each year, it's extremely overcrowded. To get on one is so big challenge for them that this is the reason why they're learning from the beginning so hard. And what's more, it's not free. They need to pay a lot for the universities, and parents, children, literally start saving just when the kids go to school for 9 or even more years. They need to save money to pay for the children university. So because all that, they are pushing their kids are pushing themselves, but their parents are pushing them even more to stay in the school, to learn more, to do more exercises, to do more homeworks. And it's for them, it's not think that they are willing, it's their duty to get in this university. And when they will do this, to stay to the end. They cannot make any mistake. They cannot start from over because their parents do not have money for this. Because of that, year after year, China is producing more and more specialized people that really know what they should know. It's not like our universities when we often do half of our job, but they really need to fulfill every subject and every topic. So we can ask now, are we doomed? So they are better than us, so what's our chance? And answer to this question is pretty simple. It's the one thing that cannot be learned in this way and is our biggest advantage. Let me introduce you creativity. The one thing that is very important in today's world that gives us chance to find better solutions for common problems, to progress, to come up with new ideas. And this thing cannot be learned in a way people in China are learning. It's even more. It's completely destroyed in them. For example, when they are starting their art education, we all remember our art education, yeah? That we are making some paintings, some things. Art in their school looks like this. They come to the class, they get, for example, the same piece of paper, and their teacher shows them origami beard and how to make this origami beard. And every person in this class needs to do the same origami beard in the same way. And until everybody do this, they do not start doing anything new. And when they are painting, they are not coming up with new ideas for some new images. Teacher shows them one image, and everybody in this class needs to paint the same thing. So their creativity is completely destroyed. And even more later, as we know, accepting failures is the very important and main thing to be creative. Because when we are creative, we do mistakes. And when we cannot accept mistakes, we cannot be creative. And in that way of learning, there is no place for mistake. They always need to be perfect. So, when we look on our schools, on us, on Europe, America, we need to remember that we should focus on things that are biggest advantages. Our creativity that gives us so many ways to create new ideas, new businesses, to create new, better world is something that we are and we should be better. We should focus more on this because this is what makes us humans, what makes us good humans and can help us prospect in this new world. So when I'm not telling that we should not educate, that schools aren't good, but remember that if you are thinking only about putting knowledge to your heads, there are millions of people much better and much more desperate in doing this. So, be curious and be creative.